Hi guys and girls, this is Elaine at Harper's Fabric and Quilt Company. Just wanted to touch base with you, and I'm missing all of you. I haven't seen you for so long that I'm thinking maybe you have forgotten how to sew. So even if you haven't forgotten, I'm going to review a few things that might be of interest to you. If you're in any of our classes here at Harper's, we're on hold and just very anxious to get back to normal, as I know all of you are, but thought I would put something out there that might inspire you to not only bring out your machine and sew more, which I hope you're doing, but also if you haven't dug out your machine, for those of you out there that have that machine in the back of your closet somewhere, or somebody said, oh, you can borrow my machine, please take them up on it. It's a perfect time. That's what we treasure the most, is all that time that's available right now to most of us. What else are you going to do? So always use quality thread. So I love the cross-wound thread. We sell Aurifil here at the store. And we have curbside and telephone orders. And you just need to give us a call, because we're, I'm here by myself from 10 until 4 p.m. every day, just waiting to hear from you. So please let me know what you're doing and what your projects are. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. Winding your thread onto your bobbin. So put it on that spool pin and take a hold of your thread coming out of your spool. And every machine's going to be a little different, but you will always have a tension disc to put some tension on the thread so that when it winds, it will wind evenly. I just wrap mine around, pull that bobbin winder on, and now some of you might have a start-stop button up here, or you may have a foot pedal on the floor. And now we're going to touch that foot pedal and watch your thread. I'm going to speed that up a little bit. If you have a speed control, that's always a nice feature, especially for young people who like to go fast. I know a lot of old people who like to go fast too, so. All right, so we're going to wind that however much thread you need. I'm going to use my little cutter there. And this is a drop-in bobbin, and you put it in like the letter P into the bobbin case, and it has to go under that little clip. And usually you can hear it click under that clip. And so it has to follow a path. Make sure whatever path your machine has, that, again, that clip has tension on it. Put your cover on. Some of you may have a bobbin case down below. You could look in your manual and see how you put that one in. We're going to take this out. When you thread your machine, don't forget to hold both sides of the thread so you get tension on it. Don't let go until you're through the take-up lever. And that is a big hook system. Now we can let go. And if you have a needle up, needle down button, like that one, then that will line up your needle threader. And everybody's needle threader might be a little different, but it pulls it from the front to the back, so you get a loop. And on this machine, it will actually pick up that bobbin thread. So put your thread to the back, and don't worry about that bobbin thread because we really haven't brought that up yet, okay? On all of my stitches, I'm going to do 0-1. It automatically defaults to that. And this is a Passport 2.0, so it knows the stitch length, the stitch width, and I can change that, of course, longer, shorter, whatever you want for whatever project you're using. The default blinks at you. I'm going to put my fabric in here and just test drive the machine. Presser foot lifter down. I'm going to reverse. When I push this machine's button for reverse, it goes back automatically. I don't have to touch the foot pedal. Now I've got both hands on my project. I'm watching one of these lines depending on what your stitch seam allowance is. I did slow it down a little bit. Don't forget, a FOF has an IDT that's back here as well, so make sure that that's down when you're doing regular stitching. And we're just testing that out. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, and we're going to take this out, check. It looks like it's got a very good stitch on both sides, and I'm going to cut that off. Don't forget to change your needle. So let's just change this one so you can see me do it. Okay, let's go back, and I want to show you how to align your needle threader to make sure that every time you try to use your needle threader that it is accurate. If you have needle up, needle down, that's the best way to test that needle threader. Take your needle down and bring it back up, and that's in a straight stitch position. And now it's at the height that it needs to be. And here's our needle threader. And our thread is all threaded except the eye of the needle. Sometimes it'll help to put your presser foot lifter down if you want. And now that right hook goes through the eye of the needle. You go under that hook that's in the eye, and it will catch the thread. Pivot back, and it's pulling the thread to the back, and it causes a loop, and your needle is threaded. It's that easy. You want to not force it. If you don't have a needle threader, turn your hand wheel until it lines up with that needle threader, just like that. It just pivots forward and backwards. Now, if you want to bring that bobbin thread up, you're of course going to turn your hand wheel. It will cause a loop and bring your bobbin thread up, no matter what kind of bobbin system you have. We're going to go ahead and change the needle. Remember to change your needle with every 6 or 7 hours of use, or if you're using a different weight of fabric or a different type between knits or wovens. So with your screwdriver, turn that left, and that needle will drop down. Notice how I left it threaded. That way you don't accidentally drop it down inside your machine. And you slide this little cover back and forth if you haven't taken a needle out of one of these for a while. Pull out. These are all one size. These are all size 12, 80/12s. You may, if you're making masks this time of in the world, you may want to be using a 14 or a 90, and that flat side goes to the back. And find your little groove and tighten that up with your finger, and then tighten it again with your screwdriver. And we're going to use that needle up, needle down. And our needle threader will just review that one more time. And then here's our loop down below. All right, so both threads on top, and pull those to the back. So we're ready to sew. You know, we use those needles that you don't know what to do with once you've taken them out and they're not usable anymore. We use them to hang quilts here at the store. So if you haven't used them as a quilt hanger, you'll have to try that. All right, here's our fabric, our threads to the back, presser foot lifter down. You're going to use both hands. We're going to reverse when we start, and hold your hands straight in front. Your eyes should be watching over here. Sometimes we'll have a piece of painter's tape if you want. And yes, it will go faster if you want. But if you're just getting back into sewing, you may want to do a little bit of practicing. I've got 2 beautiful sides on the outside, not my usual ugly sides in, but you'll know that. You don't sew it with the beautiful side up. And we can reverse again. And we are all set to work on our project. Don't forget, on our website, we have a wonderful tie mask pattern. That's a giveaway. You can print it out, or we also are giving them away here at the store. So always give a call before you come. We're providing all the supplies that you can select from for masks, and then put them back in after you've made them if you want. You can contribute to our mask donations that we distribute throughout the city. And we've got several here that have been made very nicely. Elastic's the hardest thing to find. That's why our pattern online will have the ties, so that you'll be able to add ties instead of the elastic for masks.